Hi guys, Crazy Teacher Nick here again. So I've been doing some research on examiner comments about things that they found in exams, and these are some of the common mistakes that examiners comment on. So that's what I'd like to do with today's video and try and keep it nice and short. Okay, terminology. So the examiner comment is strong candidates use technical terminology fully and precisely in their analysis. Weaker responses often rely on vague words like nice, interesting, or emotional instead of the subject-specific terms. So what does this mean? So examiners expect you to show linguistic awareness by naming the features you identify using that PEE. Accuracy also matters. If you identify it as an adjective, for example, when it's really an adverb, it's going to lose clarity and it's going to lose marks. Okay, so a good example is like the writer uses lots of describing words to make it sound nice. That is meaningless to the examiner. Okay, you want to write something along the lines of the writer uses expanded noun phrases. The very senior officer with remarkable honesty to emphasize Mr. Chok's authority. Okay, and the effect on the reader. Okay, so use the correct language levels. So for Lexis, you make sure you know your word choice, the register, the dialect, these are words you can use. Sentence types, noun phrases, verb tense agreements, okay? Discuss kind of the structure or the cohesion or the paragraphing. Know your devices. And don't just name the feature. Explain the effect on the reader. Leave sufficient time to complete your response. This is a very common thing I've picked up with a lot of examiners. So some students don't finish their answers, which means that their knowledge and understanding and analytical skills are not fully developed, okay, or not fully demonstrated. Rushed or incomplete endings weaken a strong response, okay? So practice your time management, okay? Time management is just as important as analysis skills. Examiners want to see a complete balanced answer, PEE, okay? So you'll have things like the writer uses repetition to create impact in conclusion, and then that's it. Okay, make sure that you come. And I know how it happens. We are under stress. There's so many. If you haven't planned properly, or if you not thinking, these things happen. Okay, so make sure that I've got a video on planning. Keep an eye on your timing. Okay, because with your planning and having to check, okay, you're going to basically need about 45 minutes for writing, okay? Leave space for a conclusion. Now, again, in analysis, I still say to my students, don't write a conclusion. It's just going to be repetition. But I see that a lot of examiners are saying things like, it's nice just to have a very short little summarization of your argument. But this is not just for analysis. Think about this for any of your texts. If it just ends, okay, it's going to basically leave a sour taste in the examiner's mouth. Practice on the time conditions so that your pacing becomes natural. Know how much you have to do within the amount of time you have. Okay. Use an appropriate analytical register. So when we are analyzing a piece of text, okay, it is a formal document. So you're writing formal, okay, and using that analytical register, okay. You cannot slip into a chatty or a narrative style when you're analyzing a piece of text. It is formal, okay, and that formality is going to ensure that you remain clear and precise. Okay, so avoid slang, don't tell the story, okay, avoid your personal reactions. Remember, it is What is the device? What is the effect of the device? What is the evidence? And what is the impact on the reader? Okay, so aim for that academic tone. Explain, interpret, evaluate. So you'll see examples like, I think the writer is trying to sound funny here and it's kind of cool. That is not acceptable. The writer adopts a humorous tone through exaggeration, which engages the audience and underscores the critique. Okay, so use third person, okay, so that you will avoid things like I think and I feel. Replace vague adjectives like nice and good with precise terms like ironic, sarcastic, emotive. Keep your sentences clear and focused on the evidence and the effect on the reader. Imagine you are writing for an examiner who values clarity and professionalism. Okay, analyze form, structure, and language. Okay, weak responses only focus on kind of word choice and they do not analyze the whole text. You need to analyze form, structure, and language. And part of form includes its conventions. Okay. In your structural, again, teacher Adna's just created a great new video on structural devices, something you want to go and check out. Okay. There are videos on my channel about structural devices as well. Okay. So make sure, please, okay, when you're writing, that you are very precise and very clear. Okay. Always ask yourself, what is the text type? How is it structured? What specific language choices shape meaning in this text? Okay, balance your essay so each area is addressed. And I might tell my students, first focus on form, then on structure, and then on language devices. Okay, know your timings to make sure that you know how much you can write within the time that you've been given. Okay, so in the next video, which is going to drop in a day or two, this is one of the things I'm going to be covering, okay, is a lot of my research that I've been doing about examiner comments and what students need to remember in their exams. Okay, so all that's left to say is you guys are absolutely amazing. Okay, I know it's tough at the moment. Keep studying. Keep writing those practice papers, keep sending in your questions, keep preparing, and rock on, guys.